Movie idea. Guy finds a stone tablet, engraved with a mysterious alien language, and gets caught up in a national treasure-esque adventure to decipher its meaning, only to learn that it's just an alien live, love, laugh decoration. The most hilarious part of Italians' reaction to coronavirus/COVID-19 has been them stockpiling every single type of pasta, except the penless, which Italians couldn't bring themselves to buy or eat, even during a mass psychosis. The moment Italians start buying penless will be the moment we know our society has truly collapsed. Listen, if I'm gonna die, my last meal is not gonna be fking penless. Coronavirus lockdown ignites an old Italian debate. It's about pasta, of course. Delicious. Finally, some good fking journalism. Someone explain please. I want to know. Penlish is smooth and doesn't hold sauce the way pen rigat does. The grooves make more sauce adhere to it. Wait. That picture up there then actually is of a smooth tube and not just a bad picture? Smooth pen exists? That's horrifying. The ridges are the best part. It's like eating a tiny accordion. And that is why it is an abomination. Disgusting. Vile. I would die before eating that filth. Things eating up in the pasta fandom, Italian community. Till King James IV put twin babies on an island to see if the children would speak the language of Eden. Children developed a communication method, but the experiment failed because no one else knew what language of Eden sounded like. The Middle Ages everyone. English kings really did have F all to do, didn't they? Your art isn't valued by the number of notes you get. Okay, but if you spent 6 hours baking a cake for a party, but no one at the party eats your cake, it's still disappointing. This articulates something about the difference between value and validation that I didn't previously register on a conscious level. Things I love about this. Someone tried to ship a tortoise by mail. The tortoise did not like being shipped by mail. Live harmless reptile. Her face. The tortoise's face. That's a fking snapping turtle. Her face says this is bad, but not the worst thing she has seen. Perhaps the only caution I have for younger people in politics is that we just have to wait for the old racists to die off, is something I've been hearing since 2004. They appear to respawn. It's like waiting for a wasp colony to die. You gotta do something about it if you want them to go away. Like stab. Every Olympic event should include one average person competing for reference. I would watch every event if they did this. And here's our average Joe, who was just explained 5 minutes ago how curling works. Here's Stassi. She's ice skated twice in her whole life, and today she competes beside the best in the world. And oh, she fell again. What a good sport. Look at her get up using the wall. Here's a hot take. Villains should be relatable. Not every villain, not every time, and certainly not to everyone at once, but there should be moments. We should, occasionally, be able to see ourselves in the bad guys, be able to understand how they got there, because it reminds us not to fking go there. Antis, who get upset about villains having relatable qualities, often couched as being romanticized or woobified, are people who cannot bear to ever think of themselves as having the capability of being wrong. Every human alive is capable of being a horrible person. Relatable villains remind us to keep an eye on that this. I'm putting my cat on a vegan diet. How could you do that? That's animal abuse. No, it's not. A vegan only diet is actually very healthy for them. Cats are carnivores. They need to eat meat. I know. That's why it's a vegan only diet. I feed them only the finest vegans I can find. I got really angry for a minute then died of laughter. Till that ants will heal other ants after AIDS, and that mortally wounded ants will refuse treatment. Do not deny me, my warrior's death brother. Girls, if you hit, slap, belittle, kick, punch, choke, throw things at, or control your boyfriends, you are the abuser. You are not a strong woman, empowered, or anything similar. You are hurting him. even if his muscles are strong enough to take it. A hit or slap from someone you love is an emotional blow. In LOTR, the word man is only used for human men, so now I'm imagining, like, someone. Are you a man or a woman? Pippin. I'm a hobbit. Someone. But what's in your trousers? Pippin. Mostly snacks. A poem about my cat. She a kitty. She a bitty. She very pretty. She step on t. You don't have to ship things. Just a reminder. Yeah, you could deliver them int JSHCKWNFIWNFOWJCIEN at $ENICIWJFJW. Poor thing. Walked right into the electrical fence while speaking. Probably one of my favorite random things about LOTR is the fact that A. Pippin did a Gollum impression in the books. B. Pippin had never met Gollum before that point and never would. C. Yet it was an accurate impression as it startled and was recognized by the orc he was speaking to. D. The only possible explanation for Pippin took's accurate Gollum impression is this. Bilbo, while telling stories to the eager children, must have imitated Gollum perfectly, which also kind of drives home how weird it would have been for both Frodo and Sam to suddenly be traveling with what was basically the equivalent of, like, Rumpelstiltskin from their childhood bedtime stories. This may be an unpopular opinion, but a person who does their best to respect me, despite not understanding or knowing every single LGBT label and title, is always going to be higher on my list than a person who knows every single one, acts like a sanctimonious prick, and treats everyone like garbage. I hate how forgotten Rogue One is. It's genuinely one of the best Star Wars movies to date. The lead characters all manage to stand out as individuals with stories of their own, and the ending is an emotional roller coaster. This movie took a semi-plot hole from way back in A&H and spun a story that enriched the franchise incredibly. R1 is how a dark southwestern movie should be done, taking a twist to the classic format and making it more grounded in the true perils of war, while retaining the core messages of hope and found family. The ending of Rogue One took guts, and I appreciate that. The summoning was successful. Do you ever see your sibling and just have this overwhelming urge to smack them for no reason? Like, my brother will walk into the room and I'm like, oh man, I guess I have to end you. The Kane instinct. The dogs in Undertale are just regular dogs. They were just sealed underground by Joe Biden's psionic warriors. I hate the internet because sometimes I will not check the news for a hot second and I come across a post like this and I have to try and reverse engineer what the fresh hell is happening in the American political landscape today. Hey fellas. Last night I took a medication, which is more or less the anxiety equivalent of a horse tranquilizer, and essentially entered the fifth dimension of sleepwalking, in which I awoke, but entered a dissociative fit so strong, I was really confused why my loving girlfriend was not my good friend and fellow Viking John, who I had to bring some first to. Also, I might have cried about this. Don't remember. Was informed I left out the best part of this 3 AM experience, which was the bit where I, in tears, gestured to our dog and shouted, I don't know what this is. Bruh, you astral planed so hard, you fell back into a past life. I know this is a real Pee Wee Herman's opinion, but I wish skipping was socially acceptable. It's lower effort than running, and if you're reasonably skilled you can get a fairly fast skip going. I think the best thing about Gen Z is their dedication to self-care, and by this I mean, when John Mulaney performed at a college and he took a sip of water, the crowd would start applauding and someone yelled at him, hydrate before you dehydrate, therefore confusing an already confused man even more. I went to a Hosier concert where he sent his manager out afterward to apologize to fans waiting to meet him. She was like, he's not feeling great and he's got a migraine. and he's really sorry, and everyone was like, tell him to get some sleep, and like, sent her back inside with 3 dozen Zennial/Gen Z lesbians, okay, and a couple of millennials. I wasn't the only one giving her migraine tips to pass on. The kids are getting back to the idea that we are a community and should take care of each other, and I really love that. In tonight's edition of very specific kinds of people I can't fking stand. Men who drive fking gigantic shiny pickups that they obviously just have as ego boosters, who fking tailgate you on an empty stretch of freeway at night, and they've replaced their headlights with fking military grade 500 proton scatterbillion lumen searchlights that they fking utterly blind you with while honking for you to get out of your lane. Because they just desperately have to go a full 40 miles over the speed limit, or their PP will just jump clean off their balls and hurl itself out their window in shame. The spread of the Black Death. Poland. Poland, tell us your secret. Poland is the old, new Madagascar. If I remember correctly, Poland's secret is that the Jews were being blamed all over Europe, as usual, as scapegoats for the Black Plague. Poland was the only place that accepted Jewish refugees, so pretty much all of them moved there. Now, one of the major causes of getting the plague was poor hygiene. This proved very effective for the plague because everyone threw their poop into the streets, because there were no sewers, and literally no one bathed, because it was against their religion. Unless they were Jewish, who actually bathed relatively often. When all the Jews moved to Poland, they brought bathing with them, and so the plague had little effect there. Milan survived by quarantining its city and burning down the house of anyone showing early symptoms, with the entire family inside it. I reblogged this tons of times, but the Milan info is new. Damn Italy, you scary. Poland. Hey, feeling a bit down? Have a quick wash. There, you see. All better. Milan. Or, feeling a bit sick, are we? Burn motherfucker, burn. Stroke smile laptop camera 3 times until the FBI agent comes out in a cloud of smoke. Me. Hi. How many wishes do I get? FBI agent. What in God's name did you just do to me? This meme is so stupid, but cracks me up. The fact that people actually listened to Greek philosophers is crazy. Imagine living in 300 BC or something, sniffing bay leaves, and this old dude comes to you and says, "We are not living in the real world. This is just a shadow world," and you say, "8. Like, I refuse to believe that Plato said that shit in public and didn't get his ass beaten by some dude named Himbatus. Wasn't Plato a wrestler or something? He was. So, Himbatus tries to beat Plato's ass, forgetting Plato is, in fact, a wrestler. Gamers who complain when they make the female characters less sexualized are fake as F. Video games should be fully desexualized. I can't afford to have vital blood flow go from my brain to my PP when I'm gaming. Steal the look. Boss Slim Fit shirt, $350. Hermes woven tie, $230. Tom Ford shorts, $410. Guxy belt, $270. Calvin Klein socks, $110. Ferragamo shoes, $720. What's wild is SpongeBob couldn't afford this. SpongeBob lived in a 3-story house with a full-out library and a piano and a sunroof top. I'm pretty sure he could afford this outfit.